Hello guys and welcome back to the SimpliCode programming channel. This is Vikesh and let's get started with today's topic, which is about networking in Java. So when we talk about the networking in Java, Java has a whole dedicated package called java.net package, which has all the different classes which you need to have to write a networking program in Java. So you will see a bunch of classes with two classes, most important ones, which are inet4 address and inet6 address. So as you can understand that inet4 address is the class which can be used to represent the IPv4 addresses, and inet6 address class can be used to represent IPv6 addresses. And then you can learn about sockets. It also has socket classes. It has a lot of interfaces, with the prominent one being the networking interface. There are some high-level APIs. For example, the URI class is there, which can be used to represent a universal resource identifier as specified in the RFC. And this is just an identifier. This doesn't provide the means to access the resource. If you want to access the resource, then you need to use URL, which is the class representing the universal resource locator, which is a slightly older concept than URI, but with URL, you can hold the address as well as access the address. URL connection is also one of the class which is created from the URL class to set up a communication link with the URL. And similarly, HTTP URL is for an HTTP connection. And you have protocol handlers. There are a lot of interesting classes which you can explore if you want to learn more about what all networking support Java provides. But when we talk about the basic ones like IPv4 address, the URL, URI classes, these are the ones which generally most developers interact with. If you want to write a socket programming socket program, then you can still do that with the classes and interfaces support provided by Java. So you can see a bunch of interfaces here, cookie policy, socket option. Then in terms of classes, you can see again content handler, cookie manager, HTTP cookie, inet4 and inet6 address with the classes which I talk about. It also has a generic class, but I would always recommend to use one of these if you know what address you're dealing with. The URL connection, the jar URL connection class, proxy class, some bunch of socket classes, URI URL classes, and some enums and exceptions as well, which are related to networking connections. For example, malformed URL, if the URL itself is not correct, then you get a malformed URL exception. Socket exception, if there's a socket timeout exception, then also you have a dedicated exception for that. So there are a bunch of different exceptions, classes, enums, and interfaces available, which you can have a look at if you want to dig deeper into it. So I've also prepared a demo where we will be using some of these functionalities of this particular package. So let's jump to the IDE and see what I've built. So here I have created a class called networking demo. And what we are trying to do that we will provide the Simplilearn URL, and we will try to get bunch of information about how this website is hosted. So you just create a simple string variable and you can type any string. You can write any favorite website of your choice here. And then we create the inet address class. And like I said, you always use the concrete implementation of the inet address class, which is in this case, inet4 address. So I use the get by name and we supply the URL to get an inet address object. And what does inet address contains? It contains all the information in terms of the internet address on which that particular website is hosted. So you will see a lot of different functionality in this class. Let's explore some of the functionality and methods which are provided by the inet address class. So once you do this, you will get an inet address object if the URL is correct. If the URL is incorrect, you will get a malformed URL exception anyways. If you want to just see the address of the IP address where this particular website is hosted, you can call the get address method. And if you want to see the host address method, then you can call the get host address. Now you might be wondering what is the difference between get address and get host address. So let's get first that out. Let me comment the rest of the code and let's first focus on this particular part. So let me comment the local address part as well. We will come to that in a while and I can just remove this comment. So we are printing the get address and the get host address, and let's see what values do we get and how do we see if it's a different value. So this explains, right? When we call inet address.get address, we just get all the values. As we know that when we deal with IPv4 address, the address has 4 values, something dot something dot something dot something. If you want to verify it, just go to your own laptop and you will be able to see some address like 192.168. something dot something. So that IPv4 address has 4 sections, and all the 4 sections will have some values. So if you use the get address method and you try to convert this into a string, it basically will return an array. The get address method will return an array which will look like this. But if you want to see it exactly in the format in which the real world networking protocols understand it, then use the get host address, which is going to show it exactly in the way in which we write the IP address, where we write some integer dot some integer dot some integer dot some integer. So that's the difference between get address method and get host address method. Same value, different representation. The next function which I'm going to talk about is about local address. And the local address, or the method name, is any local address. So this method is going to tell me if there is a wildcard address which is associated with this particular host. You can also see what this method is doing from the documentation. So if you go to the documentation and if you search for this particular method in the inet4 address class, you will see it says utility routine to check if the inet address is a wildcard address. The result will be a Boolean, which will indicate if it has a wildcard address or not. So let's run this program and understand if it has a wildcard address. No, there is no wildcard address associated for this particular website. Similarly, there's another method which we can explore, which is link local address. So let's search for the documentation of it first. So this is the class. If you search it, it will just show you the exact class which is present with the method. And this method provides basically a check to see if the inet address is a link to a local address within the domain of the website. So the result again will be a Boolean. If it says true, it means there is a link to the local address. And if it returns false, it means the address is not a link local unicast address. So let's see the output of this with respect to the Simplilearn website. So if I run this program now, I again get false. So there is no wildcard address attached or associated with the website, and it does not point to a local unicast address either. Is there a loopback mechanism? Now, these all are networking concepts, and since this is not a networking session, so I will not go deeper into what a loopback address means in detail, but to give you an understanding of where it present and how you can use this in Java is what we are going to focus on. So if you want, you can always read about what is a loopback address. But if you want to know if the URL which you are pointing to is the address which is returned by that website has a loopback address or not, then you can use the isLoopbackAddress method. And this again returns true or false based on whether it has a loopback address or it does not have a loopback address. So if I run this particular program, I get the output false again. So no, the Simplilearn website does not even also have a loopback address. The last one, or the second last one, which I want to explore is the site local address method. So let's see, what does this method do? Let me just remove this extra commented lines. So let's look at the documentation of this method. So this says a utility routine to check if the init address is a site local address. The result is a Boolean indicating if the init address is a site local address, or false if the address is not a site local unicast address. Again, this concept is again a networking special concept, similar to the loopback address. So this is just basically showing if the site also has basically a local unicast address associated with it or not. So if you want to see the site local address output, I have enabled that code, and if you run this particular program, we get false for that as well. Yes, that means that the Simplilearn website is built with pretty good practices. There is no loopback address, there is no site local address, which we don't need for this particular website in this case. The last one is just a simple thing, just to see the hash code. It's not much of a relevance, mostly the programs, but just to tell you that this is also available. So you can also see the hash code, which is contained by the inet address object. So we covered a bunch of functionality in this particular example. We had a look at the java.net package. It has an inet4 address class and inet6 address class, a lot of networking exceptions and interfaces support as well. And the simple way to use it is you point it to a website, call the get by name, call the get host address, and you will get the IP address in the exact format in which the networking world deals with it. Similarly, you can call the get address to just get an array of it, just as we saw here. And then there are a lot of utility functions available in the inetAddress class, like is any local, is link local, is loopback, is site local, and there are actually more. If you look at this class, you will find more methods here in terms of what, like for example, it also has a is multicast address. This is basically to check if the init address is an IP multicast address. So there are a lot of different methods here. There are some MC methods as well, which will check, which are specially created for the multicast address scenarios. So a utility routine to check if the multicast address has a global scope, if it has a local scope, or sorry, it has a node scope basically, or it has a link scope, or it has a site scope. So there are a lot of different methods available for the multicast as well, which you can have a look at. And we already covered the get address, the get host address, and the hash code address classes. There are some URL classes as well. Like I mentioned, URL and URI classes are also very important classes, which you might need to use whenever you are building a connection with a particular application based on their URL. If you're doing socket programming, there are socket classes available, which you can also use while using the networking concepts in Java. So you can build a pretty decent and robust application using the networking classes and the networking support provided by Java to build a networking application. And that's all I want to cover for this particular session. And in the next session, we are going to have a look at the image handling concepts in Java. How can we handle images in Java? If you like this video, a thumbs up would be massively appreciated. And please don't forget to subscribe to SimpliCode for more programming related videos. Thank you, and we'll meet again in the next session.